Mackenzie Johnston with Cattle News Central, bringing you your June 27th cattle industry headlines. Brought to you by Ag Risk Advisors. They manage your risk so you can manage your operation. With the weather being so unstable, there is no better time to look into coverage for your feed crops. The annual forage deadline is right around the corner. With their state-of-the-art technology and second-to-none customer service, you can be confident that your policy is in good hands. Ag Risk Advisors, risks averted, legacies preserved. We are also sponsored by Circle 5 Cow School. If you're wanting to learn how to preg check your own cows or start AIing, Circle 5 Cow School is definitely the way to go. Almost every week, they are hosting classes somewhere between Texas and Tennessee. They do a fantastic job. If you want to check out their schedule, head on over to circle5cowschool.com. That is the number 5 in there. Or you can go ahead and just give them a follow on Facebook. According to the cattle range, last week, the Senate Ag Committee advanced the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act of 2022 and the Meat and Poultry Special Investigator Act of 2022. Both bills are aimed at increasing competition and transparency in the markets, and they will now be considered by the full Senate. Before the special investigator bill passed unanimously on Wednesday, Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa proposed an amendment that would ensure the assigned investigator would be a senior-level USDA staff person, not a political appointee, and that amendment passed unanimously. On a national scale, opponents of these bills include NCBA, NAMI, the North American Meat Institute, RCAF, National Pork Producers Council, and the National Chicken Council. Meeting Place has reported Colin Peterson, a 30-year House representative from Minnesota, he has been tapped to lobby against the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act. Peterson actually chaired the House Ag Committee before his defeat back in 2020. He is now lobbying for the Texas Cattle Feeders Association and the Kansas Livestock Association, KLA, both of which are adamantly opposed to this piece of legislation. According to the Oklahoma Farm Report, once the news surfaced last week that the Cattle Price Discovery and Transparency Act had passed the Senate Ag Committee panel, NCBA weighed in, saying their main concern is the heavy-handed government mandate that is intended to direct how packers acquire cattle, but in reality will mandate how producers market their cattle. Lane said NCBA has more than 80% of their membership opposing mandates like this one and this piece of legislation. The cattle organization plans to continue to voice their opinion on Capitol Hill and hopefully educate lawmakers. This update is also sponsored by 4T Ag Insurance, your go-to contractor for ag insurance. Colt Tritt, he is the owner and operator of 4T Ag. He is a one-man show. He himself ranches, so he understands all the risks that go along with the livestock industry. If your operation is not already enrolled in PRF insurance, now would be a great time to reach out to 4T Ag and get enrolled. If you want to learn a little bit more about 4T Ag and check out everything they have to offer, head over to their website, www.4tag.net. That is the number 4tag.net. Meeting Place has reported last week members of the House Appropriations Committee approved Representative Dan Newhouse's provision to the annual USDA FDA funding bill that will prevent companies from Russia, China, North Korea, and Iran from purchasing U.S. agricultural land. By the end of 2020, foreign investors owned 37.6 million acres, or 2.9% of U.S. agricultural land, both forest and farmland, according to USDA. Holdings have increased by an average of nearly 2.2 million acres a year since 2015. Finally, the cattle range on Friday reported on the June cattle on feed report. As of June 1, cattle on feed totaled 11.8 million head, up 1% year over year. This is the highest June 1 inventory on record since the series began back in 1996. Placements during May totaled 1.87 million head, up 2% compared to 2021, and marketings of fed cattle during May totaled 1.91 million head, up 2% from 2021. That is all I have for news for you guys this morning. Pretty short and sweet. I want to take a moment and thank the Carbon County Farm Bureau Federation for having me up to Saratoga, Wyoming this past Friday to speak on cattle industry issues that we have been dealing with here in our recent history and over recent years. The Carbon County Farm Bureau Federation, they do a fantastic job representing cattle producers. I have always been about grassroots organizations that truly represent cattle producers, and the Farm Bureau, the Carbon County Farm Bureau Federation is definitely one of those organizations. So if you are up in that area, up in Wyoming, I encourage you all to become a member of that organization. That is all I have for you guys this morning. I will be back on Wednesday morning. You guys have yourself a wonderful Monday. I'll catch you later.